Hey everybody, what's up? Yeah, we got our Panthers in the house. That's right, the movie's coming out soon. I think tomorrow, actually. I don't like to always say, you know, when things are coming out because they might date the video, but I guess it doesn't matter too much. So we're going to go ahead and go over how to make this. Pretty easy to do. It is going to require 3 balloons to make it, 4 if you want to put it on the little wand there. We'll say he's like, you know, he's ready to pounce or he's watching, you know. And we'll go over the artwork as well. Pretty easy to do. So let's go over the balloons we're going to use. Thanks for being here today and hanging out with me. The balloons we're going to use are right here. There we go. I didn't have the other one inflated, the green, to mount the Panther on top of it, but we can transition to that and do that. So anyway, there you go. We got the little pink here. We're going to use that for the nose. I'm going to use a pink nose. You don't got to use pink nose. I just want a little bit of contrast, you know. So anyway, I got about 4 fingers on both of these. Okay. And one has actually been like mashed a little more. I feel like it's this one right here, okay? Just because I'm going to put a lot of pinch twists. One is going to be for all the body, and then one is going to be the head portion, ears and everything. So if you've never been to my channel, welcome. What I usually do is I bring the sound down, do voiceover. That way we can minimize the squeaking, squeak, 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 and then maximize the teaching. That's right. So one last thing before I get to the twisting. I just want to invite anybody that wants to support the channel over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/jlomagic. I know, breaking record, you say that every single time. I'm so sorry, I gotta do it. Alright, so anyway, let's go ahead and bring that sound down. Let's start twisting. Here we go. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start with one of those purple balloons, and I'll tell you right away before you start to follow along all this, I would inflate that balloon so it only has, excuse me, about 6 fingers in the end there instead of 4 like I showed. So just before we get too far ahead here, keep that in mind, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with 3 pinch twists that are all 2 fingers wide, just so you know, okay? So 3 pinch twists in a row. This is going to be the hardest part of the whole balloon right here, probably, is just getting over that part right there, okay? And then we're going to go right to 2 fingers. There we go. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 bubbles that are identical, about 4 fingers wide there. And then we're going to go ahead and do 2 loops. There's 1. Okay, so we have that segment there, 4. And then the loops are about 2 fingers wide, just so you know. So we don't want to get them too big. All right. And then another loop to match that one. So that way we have 2 loops, 2 fingers wide on both sides of those 2 bubbles that we made at the very beginning. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go up the side there. That's about a 2 finger segment followed by a 2 finger bubble. I take that back. It's more a 3 finger segment followed by a bubble, followed by another 2 finger segment, followed by a 2 finger bubble, and then last a 3 finger segment. So we're going over the top of the head there, and I'll hold it up here in just a moment so you can see. Okay, let me go ahead and pop that. There we go. Okay, and so you'll see it here. I'll hold it up here in just a moment before we go to do the pinch twist. So you can see we have a segment, a bubble, a segment, a bubble, and then one last segment. Okay, it's looking good so far. There we go, and we're going to do the 2 bubbles that we have there. We're going to pinch twist those. And this is what I was talking about, that if you have too much air in the balloon, that's going to be a tight spot right there. So you can see me, I'm struggling. So let's go ahead and go with the rest of the balloon here. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from the back, kind of. That's the way you want to see it. This right here is the front legs, actually, that we're going to do. So you can see. And it's about, let me go ahead and pull that through, make sure we don't lose that. There we are. Okay. And so let's do some measurements here. I did about, I would say about 7 fingers for that body segment, but you could probably get away with 5 or 6, up to you. But I did about 7, and then about a hand's width for the legs there. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right back. So you see we have 4 or 2 sets of bubbles there. But anyway, I'm going to create a pinch twist, and then we're going to go down and we're going to create the back legs. So we got our front legs, our torso, and then our back legs. The reason I'm doing it this way, I kind of did it backwards, is because I want the tail at the end there, I want it to be nice and round, you know, and just have a nice clean look to it. So that's the reason I did it that way. And the idea of using a bigger torso with that, you know, the 2 segments there, you know, makes the structure overall like pretty sound. So okay, so you see I was just pointing to that segment where the torso and the legs meet. We're going to twist that in to the into one of the loops there. That's all I do is I take one of those loops there and I go ahead and twist it in there, make sure it's, you know, nice and secure, and then we'll straighten it all out. There we go. So we just work on the aesthetics there, make sure it looks nice and clean, straight, You know, and that's one thing when you're doing these balloons is work on your proportions, make sure they look nice. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. Straighten out those legs, work that tail a little bit. That way they can see it, right? Okay, there we go. I think that looks pretty good. So right now, when you notice this, we made that little bubble, that extra bubble after the 3 pinch twist. It looks a little wonky, but that's okay because we're gonna fill that spot with our pink balloon right there. That's gonna be our nose. And I'd already pre-made it. Actually, what I did is I made a bubble and I tied it, and that helped it out right there. So what you're gonna do is just secure it right there. Now you secure it to that area right there. You see I'm going around the snout area. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around the back of the head. There we go. And that's gonna help it you know, press up against the eye portion there on the bottom there. Okay, and so I'm just working on the aesthetics. And you know, personal taste, actually I would have preferred I made this bubble bigger. Actually, I think I undersized it, so keep that in mind, play with it, and see what you really like when it comes to that. But otherwise, we're done with the end of the structure. I'm just working on the aesthetics again, make sure it looks nice and pretty, and then we'll be going over the artwork. So please stick around. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it so far. Alright, so we made it to the end. As you can tell, it's not so bad. The only part I would worry about is this part right here, and of course I usually say this stuff in the voiceover and then I say it again here. I don't know what I think, or I must lose my mind there for a second, but I would, before I had about 4 fingers left, I would do about a hand's width, even 6 fingers, just to make sure you don't run into this at the end getting too tight and exploding on you, just to make this part easy for you for the pinch twist on the ears there. But you can see it's not so bad, not very hard to do. You know, it's not you know, it's a small variation off of, you know, a standard tiger slash cat. But what makes it a little bit different though, you know, a couple things I guess is it's just probably this extra bubble right here helps, you know, create a little bit of space between the eyes, and it's not all mashed up against, you know, right below the eye. So it's a little bit of space, and we still have this part coming out here more. So again, small things, but you know, sometimes they can make a difference. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over the artwork really quick. I'm gonna go ahead and use this white marker. Okay, and so what we're gonna do with this is let me come up here closer to you. Okay, and I'm gonna do this, actually I'm gonna draw it in black first so you can see it, kind of get the idea of what we're going for. I'm gonna draw it here on the back. So what we're doing is we're gonna pretend like there's a V, right? Let me go ahead and put that up there so you can see. Probably picked the wrong balloon color to show that. Oops. Ooh. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna create these. See, we have more, I guess, V's again, right? So now what we're gonna do is just bring it down and connect it, and I'll bring it this way as well. There we go. Okay, and let me go and hold it up so you can see. All right, there you are. So when we draw the eyes up here on this spot right here, we're imagining is that they're not actually touching each other though when we do that. So it's kind of hard to imagine, but the way I do it is I will first start by making the smaller V's. Okay. So now we know how we're going to draw from there. So I know they're coming in this way towards the center, but they're not going to touch each other. Okay. So we started here. So we started with the V's on each side, and then I'm just bringing them down, and I'm going to go out as well. Okay, there we go. And now we're just going to come back down underneath. Now we can connect them. Okay. There we go. See that? All right. And now we'll just color in. There we go. And same thing for this side. And we are done-o. There it is right there. And you know what's kind of cool too is if you already make like a little cat, you could just probably do it black and then just make sure you give it those eyes, and that'll really help sell, you know, that it's a panther versus just a cat. So I guess you could say it's a cub. I think that's what they call them, right? When it's a big cat like that. But there it is. Let me go ahead and transition to me attaching it to the bottom here so you can know how to do it. Okay, so we'll bring the sound back down and we'll work it out. All right, let's go ahead and talk about how we're going to install the Panther on top of that balloon wand. So we're going to do 3 loops, and they're about 4 fingers wide, just back to back 3 loops, okay, and it's gonna create a nice, you know, platform for him to be on. So so what I did is, you know, I didn't inflate the balloon all the way, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down to the bottom there. I'm gonna break some of it off, and I'm gonna keep that tail, that little piece that I broke off, and I'm gonna go ahead and tie the bottom there. And if you want, you can trim it. It's not necessary. But now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the Panther, and I'm gonna collect the bottom of his feet there, so they're all together. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go underneath the front 2 feet and just tie a single knot. You can tie it pretty tight, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull it through the back there and pull those feet together. So pull on that, you know, that balloon really tight. And then what you're gonna do is now since you have that bit of balloon hanging out there, you're just gonna pull it down, and now you can tie it around the loops there. See that? You're wrapping it around. And what I would suggest, because there's so much of it, go back up through the Panther's feet, just in the middle there where they meet. See that? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull that balloon there. You see, I'm gonna grab it, and I'm gonna pull it right through, and we're gonna really secure it there. So you can wrap it around again if you want, but that's it. Okay? Thanks for hanging out and watching this part. Alright, so we pretty much made it to the end. Oh, the other addition I would do, and I should have had this in the marker section, is the, let me go ahead and bring this other one up right here, is right there, look at it, you'll see on the little area right there, the snout area, it's on a black balloon, so it's a little tougher to see, but like you can see I did the little dots there. You could draw whiskers on, you know, if you want to do that, but I just did the little dots. This is easy to do, so that'll bring it to a conclusion, right? We made it to the end here, so don't forget, if you really like this video, you know, share it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed before, that way you can know when new videos are coming up. Give it a like, comment down below if you do one of these and you make it and people like it and you want to tag me in a photo. That'd be super cool too. I'm on social media, Instagram, jlomagic1 if you're looking for me. I'm out there, I promise. Anyway, we bring it to an end, and until next time, happy twisting. Bye. That's me trying to be a Black Panther. There it is, right there. Again, happy twisting.